They used to mock me for crying, called me weak, called me soft, said I'd never survive in this world, with eyes that leaked and a heart that bled. But that was before I learned the truth about tears, before I discovered their power, before I understood what they really were. Let me tell you about the day everything changed. The day I stopped wiping my tears away. The day I started collecting them instead, like precious fuel for a fire they never saw coming. I remember standing there, salt burning down my cheeks, their laughter cutting through my skin, and something inside me shifted, clicked, changed. You see, they thought tears were weakness, thought they were proof of breaking, thought they were signs of defeat. They were wrong, so damn wrong. Each tear that fell wasn't loss. It was fuel. Each drop wasn't weakness. It was power. Each stream wasn't surrender. It was strength gathering. I started keeping count. One tear for the time they said I couldn't. That became the day I did. One tear for the time they said I'd fail. That became the moment I succeeded. One tear for every no. Those became my endless watch me. Do you know what tears are made of? Salt, water, life. Do you know what else they are? Proof. Proof that you can feel everything and still keep standing. Proof that you can hurt completely and still keep moving. Proof that you can break repeatedly and still keep fighting. They thought my tears would drown me. Instead, they taught me how to swim. They thought my tears would blind me. Instead, they taught me how to see. They thought my tears would end me. Instead, they taught me how to begin. Every time they made me cry, they were just filling my tank. Every time they broke my heart, they were just charging my battery. Every time they crushed my spirit, they were just fueling my comeback. I learned to turn pain into power, learned to transform hurt into hunger, learned to convert grief into gravity. Each tear became a drop of gasoline for the fire building inside me. You think tears are just salt and water? Number. They're promises. Promises you make to yourself when the world has turned its back. They're contracts, written in salt and signed in pain, between who you are and who you'll become. I stopped wiping them away, started letting them fall, started letting them mark me, started letting them map me, each one a coordinate on the journey, from broken to unbreakable. The day I learned to use my tears as fuel was the day I became unstoppable. Because you can't drown someone who's learned to breathe underwater. You can't break someone who's learned to forge strength from sorrow. Every tear they caused, premium fuel. Every cry they triggered, high-octane power. Every breakdown they sparked, nitro for my soul. I started collecting them, not in bottles or buckets, but in victories, in achievements, in moments that proved them wrong. Each tear became a receipt for the strength I purchased with pain. You see, they never understood. Tears aren't weakness leaving the body. They're power taking form. They're not signs of breaking. They're proof of feeling. And feeling everything That's the ultimate power. Those who mock tears, they're afraid of depth. Those who shame crying, they're scared of truth. Those who call it weakness, they've never known real strength. Because real strength, it's not in staying dry-eyed. It's not in playing tough. It's not in holding back. Real strength is in letting it flow, letting it show, letting it grow. Each tear carries a story. Each drop holds a lesson. Each stream marks a moment when you chose to feel instead of fade. When you chose to stay real instead of turn to stone. I learned to read them like fuel gauges for my soul. Tears of rage, high octane. Tears of grief, rocket fuel. Tears of frustration, pure power. And the beautiful thing about tears, they never run out. You can't use up your supply. You can't empty your tank. Each day brings new fuel for the fire inside. That's what they never understood. They thought they were depleting me with every tear they caused. Instead, they were filling me up, loading my reserves, stocking my arsenal. Now I know the truth. Every time they make me cry, they're just helping me power up. Every time they break my heart, they're just helping me fuel up. Every time they crush my spirit, they're just helping me charge up. My tears aren't my weakness. They're my war paint. They're not my shame. They're my strength. They're not my end. They're my energy. I learned to let them fall in front of mirrors, watching power take shape on my face, watching strength mark its territory in salt-stained trails, watching wisdom write its story in glistening lines. Each tear became a teacher. Each cry became a lesson. Each breakdown became a breakthrough. The day I learned to use my tears as fuel was the day I realized they can't drown me. They can't break me. They can't stop me. Because these tears, they're not signs of weakness. They're proof of life. They're not marks of defeat. They're medals of honor. They're not evidence of breaking. They're fuel for rising. So go ahead, make me cry. Break my heart. Crush my spirit. You're just filling my tank. You're just powering my engine. You're just fueling my rise. Because I've learned the secret. Tears aren't what drown you. They're what teach you to swim. They're not what blur your vision. They're what help you see clearly. They're not what make you weak. They're what make you unstoppable. Every tear is a drop of fuel. In an engine built from pain, every cry is a surge of power. In a battery charged by struggle, every breakdown is a boost of energy. In a soul powered by feeling, that's what they never saw coming. That's what they'll never understand. That's what makes me dangerous. I've learned to use my tears as fuel. And baby, my tank is full. So bring your worst. Bring your cruelty. Bring your pain. Every tear you cause is just more fuel for my fire. Every cry you trigger is just more power for my rise. Every breakdown you create is just more energy for my comeback. Because now I know the power was never in holding back the tears. It was in learning to use them. The strength was never in staying dry-eyed. It was in letting them flow freely. The victory was never in not crying. It was in crying and rising anyway. That's the day everything changed. The day I stopped wiping my tears away. The day I started collecting them instead. The day I learned to use my tears as fuel. And now I'm unstoppable. Because you can't extinguish a fire. That's learned to burn on tears. You can't break a spirit. That's learned to fly on grief. You can't defeat a soul. That's learned to power itself on pain. Every tear is fuel. Every cry is power. Every breakdown is energy. And I'm just getting started. My tank is full. My engine is running. And there's no stopping me now. Because these tears, they're not my weakness. They're my gasoline. And baby, I'm about to set the world on fire. With every tear they caused. With every cry they triggered. With every breakdown they created. They were just helping me fuel up. For the moment, I would rise and show them what happens. When you learn to use your tears as fuel, watch me burn. You should see me now. Tank full of tears, heart full of fire, soul full of fuel. Each drop that falls is another mile in my journey. Each stream that flows is another surge in my power. Each flood that comes is another wave of my strength. I've learned to read them differently now. Angry tears, those are my high-performance fuel. Hurt tears, those are my rocket boosters. Tired tears, those are my backup generators. They don't understand why I'm smiling. When they try to break me, they don't get why I'm laughing. When they try to hurt me, they can't comprehend why I'm thanking them. When they make me cry, but I know something they don't. Every tear they draw is just another deposit in my power bank. Every cry they cause is just another investment in my strength fund. Every breakdown they trigger is just another addition to my energy reserves. So keep coming, keep pushing, keep breaking. I'll keep crying, keep feeling, keep fueling. Because now I know the truth. My tears aren't my weakness. They're my weapon. They're not my vulnerability. They're my victory. They're not my shame. They're my salvation. And I'm just getting started. Just warming up. Just powering up. Watch what happens when a soul learns to run on tears and fly on pain and rise on grief. This is just the beginning of my power, of my story, of my reign, fueled by every tear they ever made me cry, powered by every moment they tried to break me, energized by every time they thought they won. They never saw it coming, never understood what they were creating, never realized what they were fueling. But they'll see it now. In every victory I claim, in every height I reach, in every barrier I break, all powered by the tears they thought would drown me, all fueled by the pain they thought would end me, all energized by the grief they thought would break me. This is what happens When you learn to use your tears as fuel, this is what becomes possible. When you turn your pain into power, this is what transforms. When you make your grief your gasoline, so bring the pain, bring the hurt, bring the heartbreak. I've got a tank to fill and a world to set on fire.